All right, so let's take stock here of just how much President Trump has won. That Newsweek headline, oh, it's a disaster. What's happening to Trump and this Stormy Daniels? It's a disaster. Oh, really? Is it a disaster, Newsweek? Let's take stock of just how much President Trump has won in all this. Larry Schweikert very helpfully summarizes it all for here. I really owe it to him for laying this out for us. Take a look at this. Trump got the Supreme Court to strike down that pathetic Colorado Supreme Court decision that knocked him off the ballot. They struck it down 9-0. Oh, such a disaster for Trump. Oh, really? Right. Supreme Court 9-0 decision. Then they won a permanent delay in the Jack Smith classified documents case. Permanent delay. They won the New York civil bond deposit appeal. That's the one that overturned Letitia James and that weird freeze miser Judge Engoron's attempt at fining Trump $500 million freaking dollars. Letitia James did everything she possibly could to make that fine stick. Trump was able to overturn it and pay cash as he appeals. He won the immunity appeal at the Supreme Court. He was able to argue it, and then most argue that he will most likely win. He will win when all's said and done the majority of what he needs in the immunity decision. So that I think is just based on what. Remember, when you have arguments in front of the Supreme Court, they've already made their decision. Okay, it's a formality. So that's why when you kind of listen to how they're questioning, either the defense or the prosecutor in the sense, the state's case, in this case, Trump's case, you get a sense of where they've already decided, right? Trump is most likely going to win the vast majority of the appeal details. You cannot just sue a president for any reason you want. There's got to be some objective standard. Otherwise, every president's going to be held accountable to lawfare as Trump has. And then in the process, they're destroying Stormy Daniels. He calls her Porty Daniels in here. It's very funny. They're destroying Stormy Daniels on the stand and just revealing the whole Alvin Bragg case to be an absolute circus. And they're putting Fannie Willis, Fat Fannie, in massive legal trouble in the process, basically destroying the Fulton County case. That's what the left-wing freaks at MSNBC are freaking out over. That list of win after win after win after win after win in all of this lawfare. It'd be nice if all he had to do was just campaign. That'd be really great. Fortunately, it's all been working in our favor this whole time. Every time he gets indicted, every time there's some new lawfare nonsense, all of a sudden his poll numbers go up. I wonder why. Hey, gang, with everything going on right now, it's hard to say what could happen or what will happen. And to make matters even worse, we usually don't find out until it's too late. But when it comes to your money, you should understand what's at stake. That's why I partnered with Goldco. Now, you guys know I'm a big fan of hedging future risks with the timeless value of gold and silver. And that's why you've got to click on the link below or go to turleytalkslikesgold.com to get your free gold and silver kit. Gang, it's an amazing free resource that shows you step-by-step how to get into precious metals tax-free and penalty-free, even if your money's still in a retirement account like an IRA or a 401k. And the best part is that you may already qualify to get up to $10,000 in free silver. You've seen the writing on the wall. Click on that link below or go to turleytalkslikesgold.com to get your free gold and silver kit right now, because this is about taking back control of your freedom and your privacy. We can't predict the future, but we can certainly prepare for it. So don't wait. Take action now to defend your freedom, your privacy, and your future. Click on that link below right now. While the legacy media has just been bending over backwards over the last several months trying to convince their evaporating audience that Trump was getting crushed by lawfare. Oh, the walls are closing in on Trump and all that. This is what's been actually happening while they've been saying that. Trump has been winning, winning. He's been winning at the Supreme Court. He's been winning on his appeals. He's been winning with Jack Smith, dealing blow after blow after blow against him. He's been winning in the New York appellate courts. He's been winning in Fulton County, and he's been successfully winning in this Alvin Bragg case by he's been holding ad hoc Trump rallies in downtown Manhattan every week. What, talk about a parallel reality. Now, why is this all important? What is, when all said and done, before we go to your Q&A, remember, if you want to ask me your questions, just click on the link below, join any level of support on our app, and you can ask me any question you want. You're automatically inducted into our Insiders Club. We're going to have access to our virtual platform. That's where you can ask me your questions. Remember that our super chats have been disabled like forever because of YouTube claiming that our content is harmful. But regardless, what is the real takeaway in all of this? Well, again, I have Larry Schweikert's very astute observation to thank for this. The left decided back in 2022, when we saw them in the summer of 2022, when we saw the Mar-a-Lago raid. Again, in totally unprecedented crossing of the Rubicon, raiding a former president's house. Never been done before in the history of our republic. The left decided back then, in 2022, that they would take Trump out through lawfare. They knew, they admitted, and we talked about this at the time of the Mar-a-Lago raid. That was an open admission. They all knew that Biden did not legitimately win 2020. They knew it. The Wisconsin Supreme Court has since thrown out 200,000 ballots for the 2020 election as illegal, violating the Wisconsin state constitution, which militates against ballot harvesting. Biden, remember, only won by 20,000 votes. So 200,000 votes were cast out. We've seen the same thing with the Georgia State Election Oversight Commission. We had a video on that just a couple of days back, how they uncovered a radical discrepancy between the amount of ballots that were counted originally on election day, or shall I say at 3 a.m. on election night. And they compared that to the subsequent recount and found a dramatic discrepancy in the amount of ballots that were counted. And the Secretary of State's office in Georgia, it cannot account as to why that is. They know, the Democrats know Biden did not win legitimate. He underperformed in every single state throughout the country, except for the very 5 swing states he needed to win. That's where he didn't just overperform, he superperformed. They know he stole 2020. They know it. They stole it. The media knows it. They're part of it. The media likes to act like they're this objective observers in all this. And what false claim. No, the media was part of it. We know the media was actively involved in stealing the 2020 election. The problem is they don't think they can pull it off again in 2024, especially in light of what happened with the Arizona and Georgia and Wisconsin cleaning up their voter rolls, tightening up their mail-in voting laws, making 2020 impossible to pull off again. And without Arizona, Georgia, and Wisconsin, they don't win. So they knew they couldn't pull off 2020 again, so they went all in with the lawfare. They certainly didn't want to take their chance on a free and fair election because they know Trump would most likely crush Biden again. And so they tried to take Trump out through the weaponization of the courts. And then they figured that Biden, because their advisors are a lot more astute and keen than Republican advisors, they figured Biden would pretty easily beat relatively unknowns like Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis. And they were right, by the way. Biden would have beaten either one of them handily. There was no way either Hillary Haley or disaster DeSantis, not as a governor, as a presidential candidate. He was a disaster. There was no way they were going to win states like Pennsylvania or Wisconsin or Michigan. Even Iowa and Ohio would have been toss-ups with either one of them. So this is why the Democrats did not rid themselves of Biden when they had the chance to do so. They thought it was easier to rid themselves of Trump through lawfare than it was ridding themselves of Biden and then dealing with the cultural Marxist warfare they would have to deal with, trying to get rid of Kamala, maybe replacing her with Gavin Newsom, getting rid of a woman of color and replacing her with a white male. What? Are you kidding me? And they did not want to deal with the hornet's nest that would have erupted. They figured Biden could beat the alternatives to Trump. And then after the election, with four more guaranteed years, they could force Biden out and then figure out what to do. Maybe replace him with Harris, maybe get another replacement. Who knows? In other words, in Vegas terms, they gambled it all on lawfare. They gambled it all on Trump getting taken out through the lawfare. That'll bring Biden back in because there's no way Hillary Haley or DISASTROUS DeSantis could compete. And then they'll figure out how to get rid of Biden. They could have gotten rid of him back in 2022, but they went all in on the lawfare. And they lost. Even MSNBC is admitting that. Even MSNBC, the single most loyal Democrat arm of the legacy media, is admitting they have there is no legal cavalry coming to Biden's rescue. So now they have to face the Godzilla of politics in November. And make no mistake, that is every Democrat's worst nightmare.